citizens of the country, to identify that we have a monarch, to identify that we have laws, we have a culture, and so on and so forth. But oftentimes, people which are abiding to the laws of the land are not necessarily abiding to the laws of the Father who created the land. These are sometimes people who believe in his Son, they believe in the Father, but don't believe that they, as being part of his kingdom, need to keep his kingdom commandments. Now, what Father explains to the people in this chapter and many others is that there are things which begin in the spiritual, which then manifest in the physical. Now, if you abide by the commandments which the Father gave to his creation, then you'll be eating that good bread from heaven, which will give you life. You won't be hungry. But if you transgress, then there's manifestations in your physical body which ain't necessarily supposed to be there. Wherefore it shall come to pass, if ye hearken to these judgments and keep and do them, that the Lord Jehovah thy Elohim shall keep unto thee the covenant and the mercies which he swear unto thy fathers. And he will love thee and bless thee and multiply thee. He will also bless the fruit of thy womb, and the fruit of thy land, thy corn and thy wine, and thy oil, the increase of thy kine, and the flocks of thy sheep, in the land which he sware unto thy fathers to give thee. Thou shalt be blessed above all people. There shall not a male or female barren among you, or among your cattle. And Jehovah will take away from thee all sickness, and will put none of the evil diseases of Egypt, which thou knowest, upon thee, but will lay them upon all them that hate thee. So, when we're talking about New Covenant fallacy, we're talking about New Testament false teachings, faulty doctrines. These New Covenant faulty doctrines, New Testament false teachings, often point to God's declaration to Noah. And we looked at the meaning of that declaration that God made to Noah in terms of all things are clean in the previous teaching. It is therefore conveniently ignored that Noah, who was commanded by God to make the distinction between clean and unclean, was not a Jew. So it's oftentimes, as part of the New Testament faulty teachings, this clean and unclean understanding is attributed to people who are Jews. Now we understand that that's a false teaching, because when Father revealed to Noah, he had to make a distinction between the clean and the unclean animals. Noah at that time, who knew what he meant, he was not a Jew. Neither was Abel a Jew. When the Bible teaches us that Abel, he offered up the firstlings of the flock. Abel had livestock. He had cattle. He had animals. It was his brother who worked the land, but he had animals. Jabal had livestock. And when we're looking at the word for livestock, we know that those animals, according to our understanding of cattle and livestock, are by definition clean animals. Jehovah's promise in his word is that those who keep his commandments, statutes and judgments, he will keep covenant, show mercy, remove sickness, and place upon them or not place upon them the diseases of Egypt. This is his promise in his word, which is why if you are a believer, you can take Father for his word. Now there are times when the Bible lets us know, Yeshua says, pray without ceasing. He gives us parables where the woman insisted to the unrighteous judge for her righteousness to prevail, for justice. So if there's a situation where that manifestation has not taken place, you have his word to stand upon. No. Especially if you're someone who believes in and keeps the commandments, statutes and judgments. Deuteronomy 28 verse 58. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, Jehovah thy Elohim, then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sickness, and of long continuance. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. The word is that spiritual bread from heaven. When you consume that bread, you won't hunger. And he promises to show mercy, to heal, and not place the diseases of Egypt upon you. This is often what is experienced in the natural when we keep not the commandments and eat things he did not design to be eaten. Now, over the last few teachings, we've looked at certain examples as to how through this system that we live in, we have had things in our food chain which the Father has not prescribed to be eaten.